Have you ever wondered why so many women seem to grow colder toward their husbands as they age? This is a question that stirs curiosity and sometimes even fear, especially for couples who have been together for decades. It can feel unsettling to notice that the woman who once adored her husband now shows signs of distance, frustration, or even resentment. In this video, we are diving into 7 powerful reasons why women often start resenting or even hating their husbands as they age. These reasons are rarely spoken about openly, yet they affect countless marriages. By uncovering them, we can understand the deeper forces at play and find ways to repair the bond before it is too late. Stay with me until the end, because what you will discover might not only explain the changes in your own relationship, but also give you the tools to turn things around. These are not just complaints or passing moods. They are reflections of long-term patterns that, once revealed, can guide you toward healthier, more compassionate connections. But before we begin, tell me in the comments, where are you watching this from and what time is it right now? Now let us begin. Number 1, emotional neglect builds over time. One of the first reasons many women begin to resent their husbands as they age, the quiet, steady buildup of emotional neglect. In the early years of marriage, couples often talk, laugh, and share their dreams late into the night. But as the decades roll by, routines replace conversations, and the emotional connection slowly fades. What may feel to a husband like comfort and familiarity can feel to a wife like loneliness inside the marriage. Psychologically, women often carry the weight of maintaining emotional intimacy. When that effort is not matched, they can begin to feel invisible. A husband might assume that providing financially or keeping the household stable is enough. But for many women, the absence of genuine listening, empathy, and affection leaves a deep wound. Over time, this quiet void can grow into resentment, making them feel unappreciated or undervalued. Take the example of Margaret, a 72-year-old who once loved her husband's sense of humor and strong work ethic. But as the years passed, she found herself sitting alone at the dinner table while he spent hours in front of the television. He believed his presence in the home was enough, while she longed for conversation and closeness. By the time she reached her 70s, her frustration had hardened into bitterness. This truth reveals that love is not simply about staying married under one roof. It is about maintaining a steady flow of connection. When that flow dries up, a woman can feel abandoned even when her husband is sitting right beside her, and when emotional needs are ignored for too long, the result is often anger, not affection. The good news is that awareness can change the story. Husbands who learn to listen again, who ask thoughtful questions, or who simply hold their wife's hand during a quiet evening, can begin to rebuild what has been lost. Resentment grows in silence, but healing begins in small, intentional moments of attention. Number 3, lack of appreciation for sacrifices over time. One of the most painful reasons women grow resentful toward their husbands is the feeling that their sacrifices were never truly recognized. Many women give up career ambitions, personal hobbies, or even friendships to prioritize family life. In the moment, those choices might have felt necessary or even noble. But as the years pass, the absence of gratitude can leave a deep scar. Psychologically, people can endure hardship and sacrifice when they feel seen and valued. But when the effort is taken for granted, it transforms into bitterness. A wife may think of the night she stayed up with sick children while her husband slept soundly, or the year she managed the budget so he could pursue his work without distraction. Without acknowledgement, those memories become fuel for resentment rather than pride. Take the example of Dorothy, now 80 years old. In her younger years, she dreamed of teaching art, but she set those plans aside to raise 4 children. She poured her energy into being a supportive wife, always putting her husband's career first. When she reached retirement age, she realized he never once thanked her for the sacrifices she had made. Instead, he spoke only of his own accomplishments. By the time she entered her later years, the silence surrounding her contributions felt unbearable. This truth points to the human need for validation. Women, like men, want their efforts acknowledged. A few words of genuine thanks, a moment of recognition, or an expression of admiration can transform years of sacrifice into a source of pride instead of regret. Without it, however, the weight of unspoken gratitude slowly erodes love. When husbands take time to reflect on the sacrifices their wives have made and openly express appreciation, the entire emotional climate of the marriage can shift. Resentment thrives in unacknowledged effort, but love grows stronger when gratitude is spoken aloud. Number 4, communication breaks down. Another powerful reason women begin to resent their husbands as they grow older is the slow erosion of communication. In the early years, couples often share their dreams, talk through challenges, and plan their future together. But over time, conversations can shrink down to logistics: what to eat for dinner, who is paying the bills, or what errands need to be run. What disappears are the deeper exchanges that keep intimacy alive. Psychologically, this silence creates distance. Women in particular tend to crave emotional dialogue, and when those conversations are replaced by routine chatter or long stretches of quiet, they begin to feel unseen. Husbands may believe that no news is good news, or that silence means comfort, but to their wives, it often feels like abandonment. Without words to bridge the gap, a woman may begin to feel she is living beside a stranger rather than a partner. Think of Susan, 75 years old, who once loved the long car rides she shared with her husband, filled with laughter and storytelling. As the years passed, those drives became marked by silence. He thought the quiet was peaceful, but she felt invisible. When she tried to start conversations, he often responded with short answers or none at all. The absence of dialogue slowly eroded the closeness she once cherished. This truth also ties into conflict resolution. Many couples stop discussing problems altogether, either because they are tired of arguing or because one partner shuts down. But avoiding communication does not eliminate the problem. It only buries it, allowing resentment to fester. A wife who feels unheard will eventually express that frustration through anger, distance, or criticism. The path forward requires intentional effort. Even small conversations about feelings, memories, or hopes for the future can rebuild lost bridges. A husband who chooses to listen with patience and speak with honesty can reignite trust and warmth. Resentment grows strongest in silence, but connection begins the moment words return. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, decline in physical intimacy. A major reason resentment builds in long-term marriages is the decline of physical intimacy. Over the years, health challenges, stress, or simple complacency can lead to a decrease in affection, touch, and closeness. For many women, this loss is not just about romance. It is about feeling desired, valued, and connected. When intimacy fades without conversation, it can feel like rejection. Psychologically, humans are wired to need physical connection. A hug, a kiss, or even a gentle touch on the hand releases hormones that foster bonding and trust. When these gestures disappear, the absence is deeply felt. Women may interpret the lack of intimacy as a sign that their husbands no longer find them attractive or important. That belief, whether true or not, can fuel anger and sadness over time. Consider the experience of Janet, a 68-year-old who noticed that her husband no longer reached for her hand in public or gave her a goodnight kiss. At first, she brushed it off as aging, but as months turned into years, she began to feel invisible. She confided to a friend that the emptiness of their physical life made her feel more like a roommate than a wife. Her frustration soon transformed into bitterness. Even though she still cared for him deeply, this truth highlights that intimacy is not limited to the bedroom. Small acts of affection, holding hands, sitting close on the couch, or offering a warm hug carry immense weight. Without them, love begins to feel cold and mechanical. A wife who feels starved of touch often carries resentment that words alone cannot repair. The good news is that this cycle can be broken. Husbands who intentionally choose to show affection, even in small daily gestures, can rebuild the sense of closeness their wives crave. Intimacy may change with age, but its importance never fades. Love is not only spoken, it is felt through presence, touch, and tender care. Number 6, growing differences in lifestyle and interests. As couples age, another reason resentment builds is the widening gap in lifestyle and interests. In the early years, shared goals, raising children, paying the mortgage, building careers, kept couples aligned. But once those responsibilities fade, differences that were once minor can grow into daily frustrations. A husband who prefers long afternoons in front of the television may clash with a wife who longs for travel, hobbies, or social gatherings. Psychologically, these differences create a sense of isolation. Women often desire companionship in their later years, a partner who will explore new activities or at least share in meaningful routines. When husbands resist change or remain fixed in their habits, wives may feel abandoned emotionally even while living under the same roof. The message they receive is that their needs for connection and growth no longer matter. Take the story of Barbara, 77, who loved gardening and community events. Her husband, however, preferred to stay home, rarely engaging beyond his recliner. For years, she invited him to join her, but he declined, insisting he was content. Eventually, her disappointment turned into resentment. She confessed that she sometimes felt as though she was living two separate lives, hers filled with activity, his filled with inertia. These lifestyle gaps often grow sharper when health or mobility changes come into play. If one partner neglects self-care while the other prioritizes it, the imbalance can lead to frustration and even contempt. A wife who works hard to stay active may feel resentful toward a husband who seems unwilling to meet her halfway. The deeper truth is that shared experiences are vital for sustaining emotional bonds. When couples stop creating new memories together, the relationship risks becoming stagnant. Women often resent husbands who refuse to evolve because it signals a lack of investment in the life they still hope to live. Yet, this gap can be bridged. Husbands who step out of their comfort zone, even in small ways, taking a walk, attending a community event, or simply showing interest in their wife's hobbies, can reignite a sense of partnership. Resentment grows when differences divide, but love deepens when effort closes the gap. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 7, unresolved conflicts from the past. The final reason many women begin to resent their husbands in later years is the weight of unresolved conflicts that have never been properly addressed over the course of a long marriage. Arguments about money, family, trust, or even small daily habits can pile up. When apologies are never made, when forgiveness is never sought, those wounds do not disappear. They simply sink deeper, resurfacing as bitterness in the later stages of life. Psychologically, unresolved conflict lingers because the mind revisits unfinished business. A wife may recall a hurtful comment made decades ago or a betrayal that was never fully repaired. Even if daily life looks calm, the memory of those moments simmers beneath the surface. As she grows older with more time for reflection, those old wounds can feel fresher than ever, fueling resentment that surprises even her. Take the case of Evelyn, now 80, who remembered clearly the day her husband dismissed her dream of returning to school in her 40s. At the time, she buried the disappointment and carried on with family life. But in her later years, that single moment grew into a symbol of all the times she felt dismissed or ignored. Though her husband barely remembered the conversation, for her it became a heavy stone she could not put down. This truth reminds us that time alone does not heal all wounds. Healing requires honesty, apology, and a willingness to listen. When conflicts are brushed aside, they fester, turning love into quiet hostility. For many women, the resentment they feel in later years is not about today's arguments, but about yesterday's that were never resolved. The good news is that it is never too late to begin repair. Couples who choose to revisit old hurts with compassion and humility can lighten the emotional load. Even small acknowledgments of past mistakes can create powerful relief. Resentment grows strongest in silence and denial, but healing begins the moment truth is faced with courage and care. Final thoughts. As we close this video, take a moment to reflect on the 7 reasons we have explored. Did one of them strike a chord with you? Was it the silence of emotional neglect, the weight of unequal burdens, or perhaps the sting of old conflicts that were never healed? Each of these truths can feel heavy, but they also carry a message of hope. Awareness is the first step toward change, and recognizing the real reasons behind resentment can open the door to healing and renewed connection. Marriage is not defined only by the years lived together under one roof. It is shaped by the daily choices to listen, to appreciate, to share burdens, to offer affection, and to speak honestly. When these choices fade, resentment grows. But when they are renewed, even late in life, love can find root again in surprising ways. If you find yourself in these truths, remember that it is never too late to begin again. A single gesture of gratitude, a heartfelt apology, or even a quiet evening spent truly listening can shift the course of a marriage. Women do not hate their husbands without reason. They long to be seen, valued, and cherished. When those needs are met, resentment can soften into companionship, and companionship can bloom into love once more. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.